Hello, my name is Dr. Lenise Wallace, and today I'm going to be sharing how I created and currently teach the course Race and Communication. So a little bit of background, the importance of this course. It's paramount, the climate that we live in right now. It is crucial that our students have a safe space and environment, an academic environment, to be able to learn and share and be able to really process, if possible, what is going on around them when it comes to race and communication. So teaching it, I've been teaching it for about 15 years on and off, first at a predominantly white institution, then at a predominantly Black institution that was a continuing education program, and now for the City University of New York. I live currently in the Northeast in New York. So creating this course, it did not exist at my current institution. And again, prior teaching it, I knew I had to bring it, right? I knew that it was really very important to have it at my current institution. I actually brought it to the second institution as well. So I wanted to do extensive research as to not duplicate any efforts. I'm new to my job at the time. So I did some research. I went to the social sciences department. Do they have a course on race in the media or anything even resembling this? They didn't at the time. Externally, I reviewed in different CUNY colleges. So under the City University of New York, there are about 20 colleges or so. So I started to review and do some research there. At the time, I didn't really see anything that I was really looking for. So externally, outside, I researched and reviewed, and I started to see certain things that I added on to what I'd already done. I adopted that. So developing the course proposal, I realized that this course should be about 200 level because there's going to have to be prerequisites. The English composition courses primarily were the prerequisites for this course. And so the description that I developed, this is really key. I wanted to make sure that I got it right? Whatever that means. So the course examines the role of communication in several settings: interpersonal, intercultural, professional, and nonverbal, and the media in the construction of race in society. It also analyzes race, gender, and socioeconomic issues relating to media representations, media ownership, and media workforce. And then I also had the standard course development, learning outcomes, and things like that. We'll talk more about that. So adding to the curriculum, within the CUNY system, we have an internal curriculum committee within our department, and then you have to present it once approved within your internal committee. You've got to present it to our college-wide committee, who once it's approved, then it goes on to be recommended to be added to the CUNY-wide curriculum. And that was a process. That was a whole process. Student learning outcomes. Now, upon, taking this course and completing it, few things, this is just a few of them, I have more. Few things that the students should be able to take away and learn. They should be able to explain and apply key theoretical frameworks within communication, agenda setting, gatekeeping, those types, and there's several, obviously. They should be able to identify and analyze and evaluate both positive and negative elements within communication and media in regards to race, gender, sexuality, stereotypical images, and all of that. And we go through all of that. And then lastly here, we talk about those media conglomerates, who they are, what they're doing, gatekeeping within those situations, right? Identify their key publics and their practices. So the course does have one required textbook, Race, Class, and Gender, Intersections and Inequalities. This is by Margaret Anderson and Patricia Hill Collins. And I taught from a previous edition. So it's such a great book. It has writings from Audre Lorde and Peggy McIntosh and C. Matthew Smith, Patricia Hill Collins herself. I also incorporate throughout the course writings from James Baldwin, Edward Said, Emma Green, and other authors as well. A course like Race and Communication, of course, you have to have clips and films and documentaries. So these are just a few clips from Ta-Nehisi Coates, Jane Elliott, Tim Wise. The New York Times has a fantastic series called The Conversations on Race. And they identify some groups, some racial groups, and short clips. And I start the course off actually with that. Documentaries include 13th by Ava DuVernay, Shadows of Liberty, Latino Americans, Foreigners in Their Own Land. Films include Schindler's List, Crash, Get Out, Crazy Rich Asians. Now, course requirements, this is again, of course, a standard course. So you have the midterm exams, quizzes, research paper. The research paper must include a communication theory. Important to note, several of my students are not communication majors, so I actually do a seminar within the course on communication theoretical frameworks and identify about 5 or 6 of them. I also let them know that they could feel free to utilize any communication theory within their paper. And I give them examples on topics that they can talk about. So they have a final project as well, and I want to make sure I mention this because very often with courses we do, a lot of papers and research papers, but even though I'm at the college level, I wanted to let our students know that I want you to do some form, even when we have a research paper, I want you to do some form of project. So the project includes a short paper, but then a presentation of their work, an actual project. So that can include artwork, an interview, a podcast, a textual analysis, analyzing a movie and then juxtaposing it to what's going on today with the media. So there's several different things that they can do there. In addition, they can analyze literary works, James Baldwin again, Junot Diaz, Jesmyn Ward, the Black Civil Rights Movement, any type of movements, Chicano civil rights, Black Lives Matter, and the entertainment world, minstrel show, Bollywood versus Hollywood, the plays of August Wilson. And I have a great lecture on blackface in Hollywood. And I juxtapose it to what Lupe Fiasco did with his Bitch Bad video, and I tie it all together. And it's just, so some of them even go towards that too. So challenges. Bridging the gap between race as a construct and communication at large can be challenging. There's so many layers, so many levels to this whole thing, interpersonal, intercultural, right? And the media. So the content is never ending. It's always there. However, a positive is the resources are endless. Scholars are always adding scholarship. So that's the good thing. It goes, it comes, but then there's positives there. Another challenge, I'm a Black Latina, so teaching first a majority Caucasian class, then a majority Black continuing education environment. Then currently I'm in a very multicultural population where we serve over 140 different countries that are represented at my current college. There's a challenge there with the different types of population in these topics. So it's important to tailor your material. That's what I had to do along the way. I realized that, okay, so I can introduce bell hooks here, perhaps I can't do it yet here. My former colleague, who's a woman that happens to be white, she taught in Midwest. She taught at a college where it was all students that happened to be white. Many of them had never met a Black person. And one of the first things she did was show them the movie School Days. And I was just like, whoa, it was a lot. It was a lot of it went over their head. They completely didn't understand it. And so baby steps, translation, baby steps and tailor it to your population. And then gradually. Daunting is this can be daunting. That's another challenge. This is a heavy topic, really, really heavy topic. And students are looking to us for answers. Quite often we don't have them, right? we're all living in this together. So, and the fact that it's constant when we're seeing a new hashtag, a new person that was killed, Karen shouting at someone in the supermarket, right? The political climate is haywire. White supremacy is everywhere. So this is a constant thing. So that's where it can get overwhelming, sadly. There are positives, though. Everyone has an opinion on race, and most of where those ideas are formed and shaped are through some form of communication, right? So I've always talked to my students about the fact that everyone talks about this, but not always in safe, informed academic settings. It's normally within companies of people who think like you do, not necessarily in mixed crowds. So it's important for us to do it again within our academic setting. And then also I wanted to point out, we're not just talking about Black and white issues. Yes, I am in the United States of America, where a lot of race issues has to do with Black and white. However, there are other cultures, other people out there that are affected by white supremacy, right? And white privilege. So I cover, particularly in our readings and in our class, a little bit of all of that. So I again talked about the importance of having safe spaces, and it's really, really rewarding for me, because when I have students come back to me a couple of years later and ask me questions and say things that they were having conversations with other people, and they remember things that I said, and can you send me a video, that video with cont'd and what he said, can you send that again? Absolutely. So it's really, really rewarding, and having these conversations in real time. It's a little sad again, but who better to do it than us, right? So with that said, I thank you so much. My name again is Lenise Wallace, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to share any of my material or my syllabus. So have a great day. Bye-bye.